On the morning of March 12, 2011, an employee arriving to her morning shift at this Lululemon store located in Bethesda, Maryland, came across what seemed to be a disturbance inside the store. After a customer at a nearby Apple store offered to take a look inside, he discovered in the back room of the store the body of 30-year-old Jana Murray. The scene was absolutely horrendous and could be described as a bloodbath. After witnessing this, he decides to go tell the employee about what he just saw, but on his way out he heard a noise coming from the bathroom. After entering, he proceeded to find Brittany Norwood, another one of the employees, lying in a pool of blood, but she was still alive. They immediately called 911, and when medics arrived, they went directly to Brittany, as it was obvious Jana was no longer alive. They took Brittany to the hospital to treat her wounds as they weren't too severe. Jana's body was taken for an autopsy, in which it was found that she had many severe injuries, including a crushed skull. What happened on the night of March 11, 2011? On the night of March 11, 2011, after closing time at around 9:45 p.m., Jana locked up the store and left to go home. As she was on the way home, her co-worker Brittany called her and said that she forgot her wallet inside the store and if she would mind returning to unlock the store. According to Brittany, after going into the store, two men in a ski mask entered behind them and started to attack them. She said they were both sexually assaulted, and after Jana resisted, the men proceeded to stab her. The thing the police noticed was that Jana's car was nowhere to be found. They asked Brittany if she knew what happened, but she said she didn't know. A few days later, police received a call from Brittany's brother contradicting Brittany's statement, saying that Brittany told him that she was forced to move Jana's car by the men. After interviewing Brittany again, she claimed that she hadn't mentioned it since she feared for her life. After hearing what Brittany had to say, the police realized that her story wasn't adding up. The police then told her they didn't believe her. One of the reasons they didn't believe Brittany was because the employee that opens up the store also had keys to the store, and she lived within walking distance. So why did Brittany call Jana to come back and open the store when she could just walk to her other co-worker's house and pick up the keys? Why did the men kill Jana but not Brittany? Brittany claimed that she had been sexually assaulted, but there were no signs of sexual assault. Also, by the look of her wounds, they could have been self-inflicted. After pressuring her, Brittany finally confessed. A few days prior, Jana had found out that Brittany had been stealing from the store and was planning on telling. That night, Brittany decided she would murder Jana to protect her own reputation. She called her and made an excuse to get her to come back to the store. After Jana came back, Brittany proceeded to attack her with a metal bar from a rack inside the store. She then continued the attack using a knife, a wrench, and hammer from a toolbox in the store. According to the autopsy, Jana had at least 331 wounds all over her body, for which she was alive for most of them, until an injury to her neck finally killed her. During this altercation, a worker and a security guard from the Apple store next door claimed that they heard screams and noises coming from the Lululemon store. They heard a woman's voice saying, "Talk to me, don't do this, talk to me," followed by screams saying, "God help me, please help me." Yet after hearing this, the employees never once considered calling the police. After murdering Jana, Brittany then began setting the store to stage a robbery. She got rid of the car in a nearby parking lot and then returned to take the money from the cash register and created her wounds with a blade. She then took zip ties from the toolbox and tied her feet and hands together, all over a pair of leggings. Brittany was arrested and found guilty of first-degree murder and was sent to Maryland Correctional Institution for Women, where she will spend the rest of her life without the possibility of parole.